I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out and what really it's going to contain, but I thought it was worth doing. I wanted to sort of be able to convey where I'm at in my life at the moment and why. So I wanted to sort of share a bit about my story and in relation to my chronic pain, as well as what that chronic pain has sort of done and how it's affected me personally and like mentally and just me as a person. So around 3 or so years ago, I was experiencing just some headaches and a bit of pain just in the muscles here on either side of my neck. And I had experienced the same exact pain a few years prior, and I saw a chiropractor. That was the first time I'd seen a chiropractor. Someone had suggested that I see one, and I saw him a few times back then, and it worked really well, and it really resolved any of that pain, and it helped my headaches and all of that. So when I was experiencing the same pain a few years later, I decided, I'll go back and see him, and it should help, because why wouldn't it? It worked before. So I went and saw him in my lunch break one day at work, and when I got back to work after seeing him, my back felt weird, and it just felt like something had moved or something had happened. And into the afternoon and night, the pain got a lot worse, and it got to a point where I was in excruciating pain, like the worst pain, the highest amount of pain I've ever been in my life. I was just getting a shooting pain starting at my neck, and it was in my upper back, sort of like that far down. It was like someone had grabbed a long sword and like shoved it down beside my spine, on one side of my spine. And I could hardly move, and I was crying, and my husband wasn't home at the time, so like I texted him and I was just saying like, something's wrong, something's really wrong. And he was like, do you want to go to the hospital? And I thought it was from the chiropractor, and I didn't think a hospital like would know what to do. I don't know why I thought that was logical at the time, but he ended up driving me back over to the chiropractor really early the next morning, because I couldn't even move. And the chiropractor had a look, and he did like hot cups and acupuncture, and he also did a readjustment of my neck, and didn't really seem to worry. He was just like, oh yeah, just come back in a couple of days or whatever. And I saw him a few times after that, and that intense pain, like that really, really bad pain, started to sort of ease a bit, but the movement was still really restricted, and there was still quite a lot of pain. I ended up in one of the sessions where he was treating me, just saying, look, I think something's happened. Do you think it's worth me going to see a doctor and just getting like some scans or something? And he got really weird, and he just said, you can if you want, but it's a waste of time, they won't see anything. So basically I did, because I was really worried, and I saw a doctor. I didn't have a doctor, like a regular doctor at the time, so I saw my husband's doctor, and he just said, it's only up to me to rule out, you know, that you don't need surgery, so we'll go and get a scan. Got a scan, and he just said, from what I can see there's nothing that would require any surgery or anything, nothing sinister, and just wiped his hands of it. But like I was still in like a heap of pain, and I was just thinking like, how do I keep on living like this? And from there it was just months and months and months and months of like uncertainty, not being able to work much, or like taking a lot of time off work, having like migraines and headaches all the time, being in chronic extreme pain all the time, seeing physiotherapists, other chiropractors, doing exercise physiology, just one thing after the other, and just not getting anywhere. And like each time that like I would see someone new, I would have to go through everything again and sort of tell them everything again, and it was just getting harder and harder, because each time I was seeing somebody new, I was just knowing I have to go through it all again, and like there's a chance that this person won't be able to help me either, and that cycle just kept continuing. I ended up seeing a doctor, and she said basically, oh, I get a sore neck too, just rub it. I just rub your neck sometimes and it will feel better. And like it was like that was like the end of any assistance in relation to like treatment, and I sort of just felt like really alone and really lost as to like what to do with myself, because you just feel like something can't be right if like you're in pain every single day. And from there I just sort of thought that, well, no doctor or no medical side of things can help me. This is just something that I've got to like live with. And for a fair while I just didn't see anybody else, and I just sort of tried to keep living my life as like normal as I could, but just struggling constantly. And then sort of kept wearing me down, and I started getting really like really low and really upset by it. And my husband convinced me to go and see another doctor, so I changed surgeries and just got a fresh perspective on it all, and basically got new scans and everything. It shows up stuff in the scans, but I've come to learn that whilst there might be something showing on a scan and telling you that you have a bulging disc or narrowing where your nerves go out of your spine or whatever it might be, there can be, you know, another few thousand people that have like that pathology show up on their scans, or worse or more things going on, and they don't experience any pain. So basically, even though there's stuff going on and they can see that they can't say that that's the cause of my pain, and studies show that like chances are it's got nothing to do with it. It's just when you go trying to search for a problem that you find something, and then you think, oh, that's what's going on. So it took a long time, but I started getting different medical professionals actually explain to me the difference between acute pain and chronic pain. And it was ridiculous how long it took for someone to tell me that I had chronic pain and explain to me what chronic pain was. And basically chronic pain is just, you can't really like fix it with the regular things that you would, an acute injury that has just happened and it's within its first few months of healing. After 3 to 6 months, your body tissues and bones have healed like as much as they possibly could, and if there's ongoing pain, there's not a high chance that like therapies and other things like that is going to help. It's all to do with your nervous system and the messages that are sent through your body, and your brain is transferring those messages and thinking that it needs to protect that part of the body and sending pain messages, even though there's like not really a reason for it. So that's my understanding of it anyway. And obviously that means that it's not something that is like easily fixed. So basically I've been going to pain management and learning more about it and trying to integrate things into my life and manage my life around it. But basically in relation to how it's affecting me is it has, I think, really like completely changed who I am. I compare myself to how I used to be and how I know I actually truly am. The person that I know I am. The person that my husband married. The person that used to be able to do everything. Just like a normal person. And as you can tell, it really gets me down. I think it just affects me in like every single aspect of my life. So I'm somebody that likes to achieve and like I'm ambitious. So having something that limits me in things I can do, or feeling like I'm suffering just to get normal things done is really hard to accept. Because I think I feel like I have failed my perception of myself, or what I think I should or could be doing, especially at my age. 1 in 5 people, it's a very big number, actually have chronic pain. But anyone that I've come in contact with in the groups I've worked with, they're all older than me, and I feel frustrated that like at my age something like this is already affecting my life in such a big way. Also, it's hard to have anybody sort of understand what it's like, or also that you have something so like something that impacts you so much and restricts you. So I don't like feeling different, or that I can't do something and people can't see that there's anything wrong. So it's sort of like you just feel maybe that you can't or don't want to like tell people. You just like pretend that everything's fine. And I don't like the attention if like I started telling someone, just like I don't like talking about it because it makes me really upset. It's just so it's really negative to me. I feel like I'm like, and I know I always was a really positive person, and just happy and easygoing, and just really like enjoyed life and went with the flow and all of that. And I feel like this has just like made me really negative, really like worried, tense, uptight, frustrated, like just, it's like every negative emotion that you can have, I feel like I have. And I'm like, the person I know as Steph is not here anymore. Like I feel like she's so far away, and no matter what I do, how hard I try, I can't
can't get that back, and I feel like I'm just sort of watching my life, and I'm very blessed with so many things in life, and so I feel like I shouldn't be even I don't know, like I feel like a bit of a I don't even know, like, just like I shouldn't be whinging, because I do have a life that a lot of people would really like to have. Like, I can walk, I can do things I need to do, I've got people around me that love me, I've got a full-time job, I can do whatever I want to do, but at the same time it affects me so much that, like, even though I know all of those things, it just weighs so heavily on me. Yeah, that's basically, I feel like I'm just struggling to do normal things, and then I'm not myself in any relationship I have other than with my husband. So I basically feel like whenever I have to go and do anything, like work or like a birthday or just even just visiting like in-laws or whatever, like I have to put on this face, like pretend I'm fine and like engage with people and like laugh and do whatever's being done at the time, and then like I just fall to pieces when I actually make it home, and then my husband is just the one that gets the real like raw just the shit end of the stick, really. Like, I can be myself around him, which is good, but that's what myself is, and like I don't feel like why would he want to be around? Like, why does he want to stick around and just be with someone that's like always in pain and always suffering and like always saying how sore they are and like that they can't do this or need to do this, or just not wanting to do anything? Yeah, so that's basically how much it affects me. I feel like in every other aspect of my life I'm like really happy, but when I start like thinking about deeply or talking about, even the tears come so fast now, and it's just like I'm so close to cracking all the time. Every time I go to a doctor I just start crying. Every time anyone asks me if I'm okay when I'm really in a lot of pain, I just start crying, and like I just was never like that before, and I just want to get back to just being on a happy level where I'm all good. I'm not just fighting constantly and like just so amped up, just worrying, stressing. Like, it's like my whole volume is turned up and I'm always just go. Like I just can't relax. Like I never feel rested. It's just this awful cycle. Yeah, you probably get the picture. So I just thought that would be really beneficial for me to just sit down, get it out and explain what it's like being me at the moment and why.